Hey, what's going on, good folks? This your man Chris Thorns, and y'all know what this is. I'm coming to you with another news story. So, hey, without further ado, let's get right into it. What's going on, guys? As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you watch my content, and as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, Christmas has came and gone again, just that fast. Christmas has came and gone again. You would think that with things like this come around, it'd be more for the children because our time has passed. But apparently, that is not the case. What we be about to talk about right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you are looking at a woman by the name of Rose Marie Anderson. This story is coming out of Houston, Texas. What she has done is this woman felt it was appropriate to zip tie and lock a 7-year-old child in a dog cage. And not only that, taped her mouth shut, kicked her, and what worse, left the child for hours while in the cage in that position. Ladies and gentlemen, let me let y'all hear that. Excuse me, let me let you hear this. Hey, I'll tell you how I feel.
Monday before Christmas, and while the focus should be on making children happy, tonight a Houston mother is accused of an awful case of child abuse.
Police say she tied up her 7-year-old daughter and locked her in a dog cage for hours. It happened at an apartment on Houston's South Side. Orko Manna live from the Harris County Jail where that mom is being held tonight. Orko, these are horrific allegations.
That's right. Rose Anderson was arrested this weekend and booked here into the jail. She's accused of kicking her 7-year-old daughter after locking her in a dog cage, and it was allegedly a form of discipline.
Rose Marie Anderson.
This Houston mother is accused of locking her 7-year-old daughter inside a dog cage for several hours right next to a Christmas tree.
The victim was zip-tied and her mouth was duct taped.
Rose Anderson reportedly kicked her daughter while she was confined. The alleged abuse happened on or about December 13th inside Anderson's unit at this apartment complex on Dixie Drive in South Houston. Court filings reveal Anderson allegedly left her daughter in the cage without access to food and water, and that the girl urinated on herself as she had no access to a bathroom.
Putting your child in a cage, I would never. I can't imagine.
Neighbors tell me they're shocked. Alante Riggs has a 5-year-old daughter of her own and is in disbelief a mother could possibly do something like this.
My heart goes out to the little girl. You know, that's trauma for her.
Court documents allege that Anderson's motive was to discipline her daughter for her behavior at school.
There is no amount of discipline to put your child in a cage like an animal. She's a human being. I don't care if 7 years old, 17 years old. That's a human being.
Neighbor Rose Bennett agrees.
Very saddening to think that someone would do that to a child or anyone. Yeah, and at this time of year.
The community hoping the 7-year-old is now okay.
But I really hope she gets into some care where someone can actually love her and take care of her.
In a statement, a spokesperson for the Texas Department of Family and Protective Services tells me, quote, CPS is investigating these abuse allegations alongside law enforcement. The child is now safe in foster care where she is receiving the care she needs.
It's an injuries for a child case.
As for Anderson,
She needs to be in a cage behind jail and behind the bars to see what it feels like.
and I just heard back from Houston police minutes ago who told me they were made aware of this case after a CPS caseworker filed a report on December 21st. Anderson bail has been set at $40,000 and she's expected to be back in court on January 6th. Reporting live from downtown Houston tonight, Orko Manna, KHOU 11 News.
You know, when you hear stuff to this magnitude, you have so many things running through your mind. If this had been you, you know, what you would have done. If you somebody close to this child, what you would have done, and this, that, and the third. Now I'm saying that to say this right here. I remember seeing a post on Facebook. This was a while ago. A woman did some foul to a child, and somebody mentioning about somebody need to get CPS involved. Somebody came in the comment and said, "Dang, is that what you about, man? Getting folks' kids taken away?" I had to say, what would make somebody give that type of response? I mean, do you hear what they were doing? What would make somebody get that type of response? This woman duct taped the child's mouth shut, locked the child in the dog cage, zip tied the baby in the dog cage, kicked the child, and not only that, left the child alone for several hours, according to the story. If your response to a story like this is that's what you about by getting somebody's child taken away, I would like to know what would be in about a recommendation when you hear this type of story. Well, just let this baby still stay with this woman? What would be your recommendation if you're that type of person who thinks like that? Now, don't get it twisted. I've done a lot of story about child protective services, and a lot of stories I've done, we have seen that they know better. The foster system is no better. It's not. But I never heard of the foster system putting a child in their care and locking them in a dog cage. I can say that much. But there's a lot of questions about the people who they put them with. We could question that. But to hear Child Protective Service actually putting a child in a dog cage, tying them up, that's just one story I never heard. So one more time I got to say, for anybody who has that mindset, what would be your recommendation there? You feel like the child should not be taken away into CPS custody. What would be your recommendations? Now look, I want everybody to understand, I was a child once. I'm an 80s baby. We all were children once. We all did things to get on our parents' nerves. Yes, we did. We was children. It's just kind of natural for a child to have behaviors. But in this situation right here, you have to ask the question, where are the behaviors stemming from? Because it's saying that, she did this because of her behavior in school. So you have to ask the question in a situation like this, where is the behaviors coming from? And I guaranteed that this is not the first time this woman had done this. She probably had done it several times before. But now she just finally got caught up. That's how it usually is. When this child gets on this woman's nerves, she locks up in the cage. Now, how many times she left this child alone? Who knows? It could have been several times or many times. Who knows? And 9 times 10, probably left this child alone to go be with some dude. Because a lot of these stories I have done, it be men involved. Meaning that the woman feeling like that the child is in their way of having fun. All right? So what they do, neutralize the child so they can leave to go have fun. And leave the baby unattended for hours and confined where they can't do anything, can't use the bathroom, can't eat or nothing. I can't imagine doing something like that to a child, no matter how mad they make me. Hey, I wouldn't even do that to a dog. And I got a dog. I can imagine doing that. But the question is, where's the behavior stemming from? All right? Where's it stemming from? And again, this story is coming out of Houston. And it says a woman remains in custody after being arrested for allegedly locking a 7-year-old girl in a dog cage for several hours. According to court documents, Rosemarie Anderson is charged with injury to a child and unlawful restraint. Investigators with the Houston Police Department say Anderson zip-tied the child and taped her mouth shut before leaving her alone for 7 hours. And like I said, I don't believe this first time. She taped the baby mouth shut so the baby can't scream, so can't nobody find out what was going on. I don't think this is the first time she did this. Anderson also allegedly kicked her daughter, this is her daughter, while she was confined in a dog cage. Then it goes on to say the incident allegedly occurred on or around December 13th at Anderson Unit, an apartment complex on Dixie Drive near Houston's South Side. Court documents revealed that Anderson's alleged actions reportedly served as a punishment for the girl's behavior at school. Again, you have to ask the question, where does the behavior stem from? And if this is your way of trying to reinforce, it's not going to work. If anything, it's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse because you know why? That baby had nobody to turn to. And you, the mother, you supposed to be the one that she's supposed to be turning to. But she see now she cannot turn to you. So court filings also alleged that while in the cage, the girl was left without access to food and water, and that she urinated on herself as she had no access to a bathroom and was left alone for hours on end. It was at the apartment complex where the alleged abuse took place, told KHU 11 News they were shocked. Very saddening to think that someone would do that to a child, anyone. Yeah, and at this time of year. Neighbor Rose Bennett said, for a child to endure at this age, just think ongoing psychological consequences of that. You know, it's unbelievable that someone would do that to a child. You got a neighbor by the name of Alante. She said she has a 5-year-old
We
daughter.
know family is important.
Oh, yeah, I've got these damn things, play these damn ass and stuff. Alante Ricks. Y'all get the picture of what's going on. It's one of them ladies who was talking, you know. Y'all get the picture of what's going on here. Okay? And I agree with the lady said at the end. Oh, yeah, you need to be behind the bars in the cage. Let you see how it feels. Not only you need to be behind the bars in the cage, they need to zip tie you and put duct tape on your mouth and let you see how it feel. And when you got to go use the bathroom, don't let you piss and shit. And so you can see how it feels. All right? Maybe they get this woman some kind of wake-up call, right? But then again, you just got people who just nutty as a fruitcake, to be honest. These motherfuckers are nuts. 365 days a year, these motherfuckers are nuts. And you know the crazy part about it? Like I said in my last story that I did, when it comes to CPS, somehow a lot of these women get these children back. After the horrendous shit that they have done, a lot of them get these children back. And you know what happens? The second time around, it's even worse. Hell, a lot of times the second time around, it equals to death. Because the Child Protective Service give these children right back to these piss poor ass people. They give them right back to them. And I never understood that at all. Never understood that at all. And I say to this day, at one point in time, I did want a little girl, but I'm glad I ain't got no children, man. Because if I had a baby mama doing this shit to my child because she mad at me or whoever she mad at, man, it's probably going to be, man, a gold rush up in this motherfucker. And I ain't no tough guy, but it's going to be a gold rush up in here. Something finna go down. Whatever your problem is with me, you deal with me. You don't take it out on the baby because it's not the baby's fault that he or she is here. We made that child. It is not their fault. So we should not make them suffer because we are mad at each other. And speaking of which, I ended with this right here. As with a lot of these stories, we got to ask the $1 million question. Where are these babies' fathers? Where are you fathers at, man? Because at this rate, these children need y'all more than ever. And it's sad that they can't even run to y'all because they only got this one person they only know and they can only deal with because they don't know who the father is. And I think that's sad right there. I think it really is. So again, I got to ask the questions. I end the video with this. Where are you fathers at, man? It's time for y'all to step up, man. Get your babies and protect your babies. I mean, that's if you care now. Let me say that too. That's if you care. Guys, I know I sound like I'm all over the place, but with these stories, man, it gets depressing and sad, man. It really does. So a lot of times I may be all over the place, so please forgive me, it just my passion in it, or whatever you want to call it, man. This shit just sad and it's ridiculous, and I wish it would stop. But it's not going to stop anytime soon. As long as you got people like this around, as long as you got CPS giving each other back to people like this, it's not going to end anytime soon. I'm your man, Chris Thorns. As always, leave your thoughts in the comment section. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace out.